Hello, and thanks for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Jurnee Taylor.
And I am Hoyt. We got plenty to catch you up on. Day 2 of the fiscal session underway at the state capitol, but we want to start first with Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannan. Tom, what are you tracking as we now start to head toward the weekend?
Tracking warmth. Ooh. Lots of it. Makes Jurnee happy, really.
Very happy.
Warm temperatures, and then we'll also have the opportunity for a couple of showers and maybe even a rumble of thunder. In northwest and western Arkansas, I have the best chance of seeing some rain. Outside, beautiful evening for baseball over at Dickey-Stevens. I have that forecast momentarily. A little more haze, a little more pollen in the sky. Here are the numbers this hour, and we have seen those cumulus clouds, little puffy clouds, begin to diminish as we're losing the heat of the day. We're still at 78 downtown, Russellville 78. 83 though down in Texarkana. It was a beautiful day, and here's what the first pitch forecast looks like. And the first pitch occurs at 6:35 tonight, 78 degrees. A fantastic evening for baseball, and over the next 3 days, a shower possible tomorrow with a front in northern Arkansas. Otherwise, a very warm and dry Saturday with scattered thunder possible in western Arkansas on Sunday. I'll provide you with the latest timing on that shower or thunderstorm here in just a few minutes, and we'll take a look ahead to next week. Back to you.
All right, Tom, thanks. Now, the fiscal session, it's supposed to focus on setting a state budget, but anytime lawmakers gather here in Little Rock, they often want to tackle other big issues.
As they got to work today, there are already several examples of that. This is a look at just a few of them. House Bill 1041 funds the Secretary of State office, but it adds $11 million for upgrades to voting machines and $9 million for upgrades to the Capitol.
House Bill 1077 would put restrictions on how some welfare payments can be spent. It's all part of the appropriation for the Department of Human Services. And then there's House Bill 1005. It's the big outline for funding the Department of Education. That's where lawmakers would allocate millions for school choice plans and free school meals. But, of course, critics of those school choice programs have filed bills to put limits on how those education freedom accounts can be spent and who can use them. State Senator Brian King and Representative Jim Wooten both filing companion bills that would cap how much homeschool students can receive. It would also place new testing requirements on private school students with those EFAs. The head of the state's largest teachers union among those critics who say the money going to vouchers eventually takes money away from public schools.
You can't underfund something and expect it to succeed. You need to make sure that our public dollars go to where they're needed the most. And the most are our vulnerable students.
More than 44,000 families received almost $7,000 this school year. Public schools are funded from a different pot of money, with districts getting almost $8,000 per student in this past school year. Senator John Boozman back home from Washington today to highlight federal investments in education and research. He started the day in Russellville by touring Arkansas Tech's new ag building. He also spoke at UA Little Rock there. You see video from that as he announced almost $4 million in federal funding for veterans.
Meanwhile, a group aiming to raise awareness of the foster care system here in Arkansas is on their way to the state capitol on horseback. And these cowboys and cowgirls, they're on a mission. The hand-delivered letters written by people in the foster care system directly to Governor Sanders. Over the next 12 days, they will ride a total of 220 miles, breaking it down to around 17 miles each day. Today, they're riding from Cave Springs to Washington County Fairgrounds in Fayetteville. And there is plenty to talk about when it comes to the fiscal session. And for Alex Holliday, that's something he is still getting used to. After winning the special election for District 70, he is now taking part in his first. And now that it started, he says he's ready to get to work.
I finally got access to my email, so I'm already getting emails from constituents. They're concerned with, early childhood funding. They're concerned with our public schools. Still concerned with the prison, but it seems like that's not going to be on the ledger this time. So I'm just glad I can take those emails, take those phone calls, and represent our folks.
Holliday won the special election, topping Republican candidate Bo Renshaw. The two will face each other again in November.
Well, Secretary of State candidate Brian Norris is running out of options when it comes to contesting his loss to State Senator Kim Hammer. All hand recounts have been completed with no change, and a lawsuit over the recount in Saline County has already been tossed out of court just hours after getting filed. Norris lost the Republican runoff by fewer than 1,000 votes 10 days ago. He asked for recounts in 6 counties. The suit filed today echoes claims his attorney Clint Lancaster made during that recount, namely that he wasn't allowed to closely observe the workers and that ballots may have been mishandled. But Circuit Court Judge Tim Fox quickly dismissed the suit, calling out Lancaster for failing to follow proper procedures, all while current Secretary of State Cole Jester dismissed Norris's recount effort as a whole.
I was really pleased to see that in 6 counties, we hand counted over 26,000 votes. And how many votes changed? 0. Not many states can do that. And it's because in Arkansas, we have the best system in the country to make sure every vote is counted accurately.
Miller County held the final recount today. No votes changed there as well.
A Bryant bar faced regulators today hoping to avoid steep fines over alleged secret meeting room.
Yeah, the owner there faced new questions today over its license, all while saying that room that Jurnee mentioned isn't a hidden clubhouse for a notorious biker gang. TH11's Tanya Motorziski investigating this story for us. She brings us the latest.
The spotlight remains on Burks Brothers Brewings, at the center of a growing controversy stemming from a lawsuit filed by former Bryant Police Detective Shanna Hastings. She alleges that a colleague may be linked to the notorious Banditos motorcycle gang which frequents the bar. Owner Dr. Jesse Burks answering questions Thursday from the Alcoholic Beverage Control. His attorney, Cale Ludwig, says the business is being mischaracterized and defends claims about a so-called hidden room, saying it's something in plain sight.
Even the back area back here has all the HVAC, the electrical stuff, the plumbing, so people are in and out of there all the time and have been since we opened.
Okay, and the room that's been publicized is a storage room, correct?
Right.
During the hearing, the state regulators asked about the fight from last June that left 2 people injured. Agents laid out a timeline showing this was not the first incident at the bar, pointing to reports dating back in January 2024 involving public intoxication and physical disturbances. ABC says Dr. Burks lacked a proper permit to serve alcohol from the end of 2023 up through January of this year. The agency says he operated under a conditional permit while trying to iron out tax issues because the bar's address belonged to a previous location 50 yards away. Dr. Burks says the bar moved locations and he believed he could still sell alcohol, even though agents and emails indicate they told him otherwise.
I never recall him telling me you can't serve any alcohol right now, because I'm thinking I have a permit, I just have these other little things I have to do.
He says he never intended to ignore rules and now understands what he needs to do going forward.
Burks is also a prominent foot surgeon. He's facing maximum fines of about $4,000.
And the director in the case will report her findings to Burks sometime in the next few weeks and then recommend any punishment to the ABC boards, where Burks could also then appeal. The Arkansas Supreme Court heard oral arguments today in its appeal for Zachary Holley, the Benton County man facing the death penalty for the kidnapping and murder of 6-year-old Jersey Bridgman 10 years ago.
Holley's counsel argued today 2 facts were never presented to the jury during the murder trial. Holley has fetal alcohol spectrum disorder and was raped by his brother multiple times. His counsel argued those facts being presented to the Benton County jury would have changed the outcome of the case. But the state's representative said they disagree.
Coming up here at 6, the story of an Arkansas veteran returning the favor after he says Ukraine soldiers saved his life more than 20 years ago.
A look ahead to the first part of your weekend. Tomorrow is Friday, or as Jurnee would say, it's Friday. You betcha. Afternoon high temperatures in the middle 80s. Under partly sunny skies, there could be a stray shower in northwest Arkansas. Coming back, I'll have a look at your full forecast for the weekend and beyond.